Okay, so the other thing I have. So, first off, this is going to be weird, but I'm giving a secondary viewer discretion warning for this. You might want to jump ahead like 10 minutes or something.
Oh, Jesus.
So, my friend, who I have a feeling is going to want to remain anonymous with this, informed me of a creepypasta that floated around regarding Digimon Tamers.
Okay. I mean, Tamers would be appropriate creepypasta territory.
Okay, so here it is. I've been excited to read this. I was on my way to work. I work at a local movie theater. Not the greatest place in the world, but hey, free movies. Anyway, I just parked my car and was walking to the theater. Yet before I got there, "Hey, old dude," a voice called out. I turned around to see some guy holding a box in his hand. He looked like a pretty normal dude, yet he defiantly needed a good night's sleep. Big black bags sagged under his bloodshot eyes. "Hey," he said to me, "you like anime?" I had arrived an hour early for work, so I could buy a quick meal before starting my shift, so it wasn't like I was in a rush or anything. Plus, I did enjoy anime a bit. "Yeah," I said, "I dabble in it." "You like Digimon?" the sleep-deprived man asked. "Which season?" "Tamas," the guy said. "That's the 3rd season for the record." "Wow," I said, "I love that season. Guillemon eating everything, Kazu and Kenta being clowns, and Renamon? Oh man, did I enjoy Renamon."
Fucking perverts. Also, this
you enjoyed Kazu and Kenta?
Yeah, I'm calling bullshit on that.
This sounds familiar. How old is this creepypasta?
I don't know.
Okay.
"Then you'll love this DVD," the guy said, showing it to me. The title on the box said Digimon the Movie, Renamon's Rage. Renamon's Rage, I said, confused. I thought the only movies she was in was Runaway Locomon and Battle of Adventures. "It's a special uncut movie," the guy said. "That's why it was never aired." I began to think this dude was working a scam, so I walked away. "It's only $1, the guy said. I stopped and looked back. $1? I asked. "Yeah," the guy said. I reached into my wallet and pulled out a George Washington. "Just one George?" I said. "Yeah," the guy said, a bit annoyed. "Just that." "Open it."
I have never fucking ever in my life heard someone refer to this to a dollar bill as a George.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He opened it up. The DVD was inside in there. It had a little picture of Renamon on it with a red background. Also, her eyes were blood red, unlike the normal black and blue. "Okay," I said, giving him the buck and taking the movie. "Yes!" the man said. "Yes!" He proceeded to leave while happily dancing as well. I looked at the DVD confused, then at the man. I tried to find logic in all of this. "Must not be that good," I said. I had been sent home early from work. The theater wasn't busy tonight, so the managers decided to try and save some money by sending a few of us home. Sweet, I thought. I'll get to watch this movie tonight. Later that night, I popped into my PS3 in my room. Everyone else was asleep at this time, even my dog. Soon enough,
Popped into it? He popped into it? He actually went into his PS3?
Soon enough, the menu comes up. It just shows a picture with Renamon with some digivices hanging around her neck like a necklace. She's holding the number 2 is constantly misspelled throughout this thing. She's holding two more in her hands. One says play, the other just gives the language options, which I appreciate that a movie from hell lets you watch it in different languages. It's very considerate.
Now, is it subbed or is it just subbed or did they dub it?
This sounds familiar, but I'm pretty sure it sounds like a completely different creepypasta that I read. I think it's plagiarized from something.
Yeah, this sounds like a familiar creepypasta.
I found nothing odd about it.
All creepypastas found familiar.
Yeah. I found nothing odd about it, so I pressed play. I really wish I didn't. The scene opens up to the city where the Tamers live. It's nighttime, yet it also looks like a storm is about to come. Every so often, a flash of lighting illuminates the dark buildings and roads. Sadly, every time they did, I was shown some creepy sight. The first scene it cuts to is a sign that covered in flesh blood, a bit dripping off. Yes, flesh blood.
I mean, Stephen King's come up with some weird words too. Doesn't matter.
I paused it for a moment. That blood looks so real. Not computer graphics, but truly real. Needless to say, I found this a bit extreme for a kid's show. Then again, the guy said it was an uncut version. I dismissed it and played on. The next scene is a motorcycle, yet it had some type of white, pointy objects embedded all over it. During the next flash, I get a close-up. I now see it's Beelzemon's motorcycle, and the thing all over it are diamonds. Yet the worst part is that now I saw two small bodies near the vehicle, Ali and Mako, Impmon's tamers. They as well are covered all over in sharp diamonds, which are jammed into their skin. Now, when I first read this, it didn't click with me that he was talking about Renamon's Diamond Storm. And I was thinking...
Yeah. That's immediately...
I was thinking, did she take time out to individually place diamonds in all of their bodies? Just bling them out. Yeah. This goes on a bit more, showing each of the Tamer's parents and families dead in some way. Rika's mom and grandma impaled to the wall with Sakuyamon's staff. Takuto's mom and dad buried under the burring rubble of their home. The fire is blue. Henry's dad, his neck is ripped out as if a wild animal tore into it with his teeth. Jerry...
Fucking deserved it, motherfucker.
Jerry, with 2 R's, and her family... We just see a bloody puppet attached to a dismembered hand. Her parents are like Ali and
Jesus!
Mom. I don't know how I sat through them all. The others that followed were so gruesome and disturbing I can't tell on this. After this, I saw Renamon's face appeared on screen. Her eyes are blood red like they were on the disc. She just stands there looking at me for about 15 seconds. Then laughs. No, I said. It didn't take long to put 2 and 2 together. Renamon had killed them all. What's going on? I said. The camera moves back and we see Renamon is in that big room where the Hypnos organization tracks Digimon. Renamon sits upon the floating chair and keyboard that those ladies are usually at. Then she jumps off it. As she lands, I came upon an unimaginable sight. Sakato, Rico, and Henry and the other tamers that weren't shown earlier were tied in separate chairs. I suppose it's meant to be implied she deleted their Digimon earlier? Near the chair are body parts of what I assume were Yamaki and his girls. A dismembered hand held a lighter in it. Rika tried to muffle something at her partner. Renamon's response is tipping over her chair. Humans, Renamon said. How pathetic you all are. I feel sick that I needed you once to make me stronger. Yet I have now pushed myself past your senseless card games and digestives. I am omnipotent.
Digestives?
I feel like they're making a job not only at Tamers here, but also at Yu-Gi-Oh!
Alright, keep going.
Renamon walks off the screen. A few minutes later, she returns with a chainsaw. A blood-covered chainsaw. Oh, hell no!
Oh, shit.
I said, trying to stop the movie, yet it wouldn't stop. Huh, I said, assuming my controller must have low battery life. I went for my remote and pressed power. Still no effect. I was getting terrified just then. I got up off my bed I was sitting on. Sit down, Renamon said, looking at me. Also, when she said this, her voice changed. It sounded as if a devil were speaking through her now. She pointed the saw at the screen. It almost felt like I was seeing a 3D movie, as the saw seemed to come out of the screen, roaring louder than before. I froze with fear. This cartoon fox was talking to me. I sat back down, creeped out of my mind. Good boy, Renamon said as she went back to her work. She rammed the saw into the bottom of the chair, and, well, Rika lost her virginity to a power tool.
Jesus fucking Christ!
What the fuck? What the fuck?
I nearly barked.
Oh my god.
Suisse, Henry's sister, began bawling like the baby she was. This all happens in slow motion. Renamon ripped the saw out of Rika's body, blood and gore everywhere, then slammed the blade into her skull, brains and blood flying out of her. Henry screams next. Renamon simply decapitates him. Kazu and Kenta wet their pants. Their piss touches Renamon's feet. She looks at them. For this part, I'll just say that Kazu and Kenta didn't die as men. Next is Rio. Renamon turns the saw off, then jams it into his gut like a sword. Rio gasps.
Yay!
Renamon turns the saw on and obliterates his insides. Now all that's left is the Kato. Renamon smells something. You need a change? She asks Takato, who trembles as he nods. That's a bad boy, Renamon says in a sick, pleasurable way. She turns off the chainsaw and puts it down, then kicks Takato's chair down. Renamon proceeds to go over to a nearby wall and gets a fire extinguisher that's hanging upon it. She turns it on and blasts Takato with it. The boy screams as he gets foam in his eyes. Renamon then walks over, ready to bash his brains in with the extinguisher itself. Yet before she begins to scream, "No! Silence!" the demonic voice says. "I control you!" Renamon begins to digivolve out of control, changing into each of her forms, even Sakuyamon, for some reason. "Leave me alone!" Renamon cries. "Get out of my head!" She turns into her champion form, Cubimon. She continued to struggle with whatever evil presence had posed her, all the while flinging blue fire from her tails. "Obey me!" the demon says again. Renamon changes back to normal, then grabbing the chainsaw, points it at herself. She turns it on and rams it into her chest. In her own voice and the demon voice, she cries out as she explodes into Data. The blue flames from earlier are now a full-blown fire. Takato desperately tries to free himself. Yet the next thing we see is the building he's in explode. Everyone dies. The credits roll and I took out the DVD, put holy water onto, broke it, and burnt it in the fireplace. Who the fuck makes shit like that, I wondered. The next day I searched on the web for this movie. After looking around for a while, I came upon this message in a blog. There's another Digimon movie. It was never meant to exist. But somehow it did. I highly recommend not watching it. Yet if you do, and I can't stress this enough, you must watch it from start to end. Don't get up and leave to do anything. The movie warns you even not to. Still, if you do, you will die. I managed to survive this Digimon movie from hell. I can only hope I reach someone else with this story before it's too late. The end.
And then you became Skeleton.
And you wrote
this.
But guys, who was phone?
Man, hook, card, or hand. Gun.
You see, that actually had the makings of being a really good creepypasta.
and then it
said things like, and then it said things like taking virginity with chainsaws. Okay, we have to keep that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think we can do. I was going to say I think we can do better, but I think we did better in our time.